Welcome back to Max Modified for episode 4 of the Mercedes chassis swap. I would love to start working on the bodywork, putting those flares on, putting the Class 1 bodywork on, but we've got some housekeeping to deal with. It's not as fun, but still necessary. We got to close this whole section up here, marry the two together, deal with some support brackets, and just general cleaning up front. And then in the back, we've got to weld together around the wheel wells, the trunk area. So we're just going to work on a little bit of that. So do the hard stuff, and then we can look forward to the fun stuff of the body work and all that good looking stuff. So let's get to it. All right, now we've built back in a little bit of support for the steering column, and that should do it because this whole area is going to be covered up. So now we can still get to that from the inside, but it's got the structure back. All right, next spot. All right, here I've got the intake for the blower motor. It's huge. It's way too high. So I've hit it with a hammer and destroyed it. And what I'm going to do is take this piece of mesh and put it there. So now once this is all covered up with metal, you've still got the intake and it's not pulling in giant blobs. So I think that should be a good solution. All right, and there we go, riveted in. I think we're ready to make a template for this top part here. Let's do it. All right, we got the new cowl cut out and kind of fitted. Obviously, it's going to need welding. I'm also going to try a new tool. I've got a bead roller coming in. I think it will not only look good, but it'll also strengthen things. So let's give that a try. All right, well, you just saw me weld that big piece in, and as you noticed, there were no beads on it. And it's not because the tool didn't show up. It's not because the tool is crap. It's because I suck at bead rolling. I tried on a couple of spare little pieces, scraps, and it went okay. But then I tried that big piece, and it sucked. I could not follow the line if my life depended on it. So I made another one of those panels and welded that in. It seems plenty strong without the beads. It's not as sexy looking, but we'll save the bead roller for another day. All right, next we're going to weld up the inner wheel tubs where there was just a real small gap between the body and the chassis. So we'll just cut up a couple little pieces of metal, and that should add some strength and just close everything up. All right, well, it's welded up, but I'm really not happy with the way it looks. Just couldn't get clean welds. I think there was a lot of seam sealer in between all the layers of metal on the chassis, and as much as I cleaned, it just wouldn't make a good bead. So it's ugly, but I think it's stronger than it was for sure. and everything's also closed up. So we will say it's good enough and move on. All right, I think I'm done with metalwork for now. I'm really anxious to kind of start lining up bodywork. So I've put a fender on and I've put the hood in place because those are going to kind of dictate where things line up, particularly the front bumper. And we've got issues as expected. So let's take a look. All right, the door is a hard point. We're not going to move that, obviously. So now we go to the fender, which that's approximately the right fender to door gap, which dictates where the hood goes. And that's the hood kind of lined up with the fender in the front, which gives us our problem. All this crap in front of the hood. So I started taking some stuff off, but we've got to lose this air conditioning condenser, the radiator, the fan, and a whole lot of hoses and other crap. So let's take all that stuff apart so that we can get the bumper lined up. And once the bumper's lined up, we can start messing around with fenders and fender flares and things like that. Oh, Mercedes, how is it even possible that you designed this? What a nightmare. Wait until you see how much crap is stuffed in here. And there's zero room. Take a look at this. All right, look at all the crap stuffed in the front. Radiator. Giant fan. I don't even know what that's for. Something for intercooler, AC condenser, and then another cooler. And that's not even all of it. There was a ton of crap in here, a lot of plastic that I just got rid of. About 4 billion hoses. I guess I'm just going to have to kind of figure out how it all goes back together in a manner where it'll fit with 4 inches less up front. All right, now we've got everything off. Radiator, AC condenser, intercooler. I don't know what some of those other things were. Air-water intercooler. Radiator support, the whole front support here, and now when we look, we've got plenty of room, it looks like. Let's throw the hood on. All right, we are in a much better place in terms of front space. So there's the hood lined up. Yeah, we got other issues with the hood. We'll deal with that later. But if you look, there's nothing sticking out. Of course, we got to figure out a way to fit all this crap back in. But that's going to be fun, and that's way down the road. So let's get this bumper on. All right, here we go. First time everything's lined up. We got the bumper on there, fender, hood, front door. And I'm going to have to say it looks pretty damn good. Obviously, there is a ton of work to make this all work. But it's looking cool. I'm loving the Class 1 bumper. It's going to be great. Oh, let's put one of the fender flares in place and see what happens. All right, and there it is with the fender flare. That is going to be really cool after probably 1,000 hours of body work and fitting. But it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be worth it. All right, I think we got a lot accomplished this episode. So I'm going to pause there, just kind of turn my gears for a while, figure out what's next. And thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Thanks.